show. So I'm here with Jacob, the lead guitarist and vocalist of Flat Moon. How are you?
Hi, I'm not too bad. I'm just chilling on this fine Tuesday day with my cuppa in my house. Yeah,
Lovely.
not
Lovely.
much more.
So Flat Moon formed early in 2019, so relatively new band on the scene. And you released your latest single, Demise, on the 23rd of April, so just a couple of months ago, through the Leeds-based label Monomyth Records, which is really exciting. So
Mhm.
you're a five-piece band. Have you always been a five-piece band, or have you kind of expanded gradually? And how did Flat Moon become to be Flat Moon?
Well, we did start as a four-piece because our youngest member Alex did not come up to Leeds where we were all studying for an extra year. I think I don't know, in fact, he might be 2 years below myself. So it was me, Ali, and Matty and Ewan for a year, I think. And that would have been my second year in uni. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we played as a four-piece for a little while. And then when Alex come up, we said, right, okay, and you come, and just sort of assimilated him in over the course of a couple of gigs. And then, it's odd to think that we played without Alex at one point now, because we've been a five-piece for the majority of his life. But just for, think about maybe 6 months to 2019, the end of 2019 academic year is when we were four-piece for a while. But yeah, me, Alex, and you knew each other before anyway, which is why it was sort of like there's a position saved for Alex when he moves up, because we played together in a little college band, which was great fun, which definitely meant, yeah, we want to do this at uni, we want to take it up a notch. We met Matty at a secret gig in Jumbo Records, actually. I've forgotten where it was. It was Reverend and the Makers, and it was the two main guys from Reverend and the Makers doing like a acoustic show. And Ewan invited Matty down because Ewan had been all big mouth saying, "Oh, he wants to be in my band then." And Matty sort of went up to him at uni and go, "I want to be in your band." And so he was like, "All right, come meet everybody else." So we were jamming for a while, and we had a couple of like floating members and a different name. And then we had a singer who sung was in rehearsal, and then we had a gig, and he didn't show up to the gig, and it was being our first show. So I had to start doing singing. I had to learn all the words for that gig, and I'd never sang at a show before. So then that was what started me singing. We thought, well, fuck it, we won't get a singer. We'll do all the singing bits ourselves. So that's been a steep learning curve. We found Ali at a house party, which was really what set everything off going, because Ali's just unbelievably productive and resourceful, and he had all this sort of demo making equipment and all the setup, so we could just be like absolutely pumping out tunes. We'd just go around and get annihilated and spend about 12 hours at a time at Ali's just making absolute. Some of it's great and some of it turned into tunes and some of it was just carnage. So it just all come out from experimenting with new people at the time. So we were making mates just by making tunes, really, which is good. So then it feels like we've more just got a group of mates together and we all like doing the same sort of thing. Yeah, that was pretty long-winded, but I guess
No,
that's
that's great.
the story of it.
It definitely resonates in your live sets as well. So the next thing I was going to just talk about was Transmission last weekend. Got a little poster there on my wall.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, yeah, that's true.
For those who don't know, Transmission is a 2-day festival that's run by Leeds Student Radio. It was at Hyde Park Book Club this year, and on the second night, Flat Moon headlined the show. So it was very energetic, loud. I don't know, everything crazy, unpredictable. I loved it. It was great. And
Oh,
Ali,
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
yeah, it was great. It was a great night. Ali's bass
Ridiculous.
playing is just like out of this world. And then when Alex just stood up on a chair in the middle of the room and was like singing and proper, you were all going for it. It was a really great atmosphere. So How did it feel to be playing back at live gigs again after all this time? Did you guys enjoy it? Like, what was it like for all of you?
It's fantastic. I've been waiting for this, but the whole time, because I'm not gonna lie, lockdown was sort of a bit of a blessing under the wrong circumstances, where I was going, oh my god, I've got all this stuff to do for uni, and it gave me like a little holiday where everything I wanted to do, which was stay in the house and not speak to anybody, was becoming granted. A great wish to come true. So initially we're thinking, yeah, this is great, we'll get loads done, but live shows are the best for boosting your confidence, finding new people to be interested in you, demonstrating your art as a whole, like the performance, because you're entertainers, you're not just, for us anyway, we're like the idea of being a performance, not just here are our songs type of gig, Oh, someone's arisen. Hey, oh.
Hello, who do we have here?
Alright, it's Matty.
You've accidentally walked into an interview scenario.
No, I knew it was an interview. Alright, how you doing?
Is Matt from Flat Moon?
Yeah, Matt Flynn from Flat Moon.
How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, what, sorry?
I just said, how are you doing? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad today, to be fair.
The current question we just walked in on it. How does it feel to do live gigging again?
Sick. Yeah, it's well good, yeah. I was about to say there's not many feelings like playing live gigs instead. It's quite that's where you, like, as a band, I feel that's where you sort of performing it, you're like, that's sort of the aim, really. I feel like that's better than recordings as well and stuff. Like when you're actually there performing, like in a live setting, it's like it is as it is in that moment, and then that's it, really.
Yeah, it's spontaneity, isn't it? I like that aspect.
Definitely, yeah. We were just talking about the set you did at Transmission last weekend, and I was just saying that I really enjoyed it, and I love the cover of Kendrick Lamar that you guys did. It goes to show your versatility as a band, not just, you've got your own stuff as well, which is just great, but then you also do covers. So is that something you like jamming to as a band, just in your own time, or will you release any covers, do you reckon, in the future?
We did talk about releasing I as a cover, doing it as I and Who's That Lady, which is the song obviously that it samples. Wait, yeah, that's right, isn't it? I samples Isley Brothers, Who's That Lady? Yeah. And so we were saying, well, if we mash them two together and do the version that we do of it live and record that, that'd be good. Because, we were looking at like Higher Ground by Red Hot Chilies, and that was their little breakthrough at one point, wasn't it? That was their big tune. That's Stevie Wonder tune. So we're like, other people have done it with covers where they've changed the genre in a way just through the instrumentation. Because it would sound more like a rock piece, I guess, because it being on guitars. But yeah, no, I'd like to do that. That'd be good. Wow. We've played that for a while. I think did we play that on the first show?
I thought so. We have actually thinking about
played that for a long time. It's just always been good, so we just keep it in, and it's just got better.
It's a staple in your set list.
Yeah, I would say that's the longest staying cover.
That might actually be our most played tune. No, it won't be actually. Vultures probably is.
Yeah, we play Vultures at every show.
Yeah, well, I think it's great, and I'd love to hear more stuff like that coming out. So at Transmission, I was there broadcasting at the back, and there was a little bit of information. There's an information sheet on you guys, and I read that you combine funk, psychedelic rock. And the sound, this really intrigued me, the sound of microwaveable uncertainty. So can you just expand a bit more on that? What is microwaveable uncertainty?
Well, it's the one that comes in the quick and instant. Yeah, it's convenient. It's convenient uncertainty. Oh my! I forgot completely that we put that on something.
Yeah, it is sort of a sudden
It's sudden anxiety, isn't it? It is we were trying to think of a way of just talking about, like, because we were saying, oh well, do we put existential lyricism? Do we put anxiety fueled chaos? Or because a lot of the tunes are about worrying or being like they're all about frictional emotions more so than we don't do love a lot really. It's a lot of it is talking about how everything seems overwhelming. Like, I mean, demise and vultures, disarray, tranquilize. So yeah, a lot of them are just anxiety based. So I think we were trying to say something along them lines, and someone said that, and it was funny, so we put it on. Yeah, I think that was all it was really. But no, it's real. It's real. It's you put it in 900 watts, 2 minutes 30, 850 watts, 3 minutes. I reckon would be. He's gone now. He'll be back.
Well, I think it's a great label to name yourselves as. And you also say that you're the instigators of the genre BFunk, which, as far as I'm aware, stands for Brit Funk. So can you enlighten me a bit more on what that exactly is as well, and how the Black Moon kind of come to be in the genre of Brit Funk?
Well, we really like P-Funk, which is the Parliament Funkadelic like subgenre. And Matty has also then thrown a lot of G-Funk into the mix, like, early 90s. Anything that Dre would have been mixing in the early 90s was G-Funk. Like
P-Funk stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And so we wanted a little category of funk because we thought funk is overtly an American thing in a lot of cases. It seems like a lot of funk artists are American and that there isn't really a British funk scene. Although recently we've noticed, specifically with artists like the Oriels, who are a Halifax group, that there seems to be a bit of a northern thing going on about putting more dance funk elements into indie music. So as that's sort of changing, we're like, right, we need to not be putting ourselves under the indie umbrella quite so quickly, because that turns a lot of people off, I think. And then it brings in people who are expecting a certain type of indie, which then we don't provide. We're not really very jangle poppy. And so we thought, well, we've got P-Funk and G-Funk, and we're British and we play in funk, so we'll call it B-Funk. And everyone's going, yeah, that's great. And so we just decided now, off our own inhibition, that we are B-Funk, and that's what we'll be. And it'll be that means the psych rock British thing that we like doing, the darker stuff, combined with all them funky rhythmic elements, and that'll be B-Funk, and we'll just say that. And it'll be fine. And every time someone will ask, we'll explain it and look like tossers, and then it'll be okay. And they'll go, Flat Moon, they're B-Funk. There we go.
Well, I'm just waiting for the Spotify playlist called B-Funk to pop up on my feed now. That's all I'm waiting.
To be fair, we could get on that.
Yeah, we ought to really.
Bands that are after 2015, that British with a funky edge, I reckon, is B-Funk.
I reckon there's a niche.
It would be niche.
100%.
Yeah, there's enough funky people out there, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. So over lockdown, you started FMTV. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny being asked about all this stuff because it's just a joke to us sometimes. But
it's basically, for anyone that doesn't know, there are a range of videos that you guys have created together. So was it kind of lockdown that inspired this as like a side project? I know it's just a bit of a laugh, but it's great. It really lifted my when I watched it. Like, I'd recommend going and watching them after this because they're just so funny. So yeah, was it like a side project, or are you looking to? Do you reckon you'll look to continue this as live gigs come? They're opening up again now. So do you reckon you'll have time to do them, or is it just when and whenever you can?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, when we made them, it was obviously lockdown, and it was sort of just something that, because me and Jacob spend a lot of time watching telly, to be fair,
A lot,
and
especially in lockdown, as
yeah,
did everyone.
and a lot of that's like comedy stuff, like all sorts of different stuff, and we just sort of wanted to, you know, all the time we're like, oh, we could do something like that. We're always coming up with ideas for sketches, a lot of sketches. Like we watched the Mitchell and Webb show a lot.
That was it, yeah. Mitchell and Webb look was the one that really set it off, because it was just no context, random scenarios, and we thought, oh well, we could put together a few of them surely. So we had to start learning how to shoot and edit stuff. Yeah. I mean, I got this.
Didn't it? Through the.
That's right. Yeah, I got that footage editor, and it was just one of them things we picked up where we're like, this will be funny, and then we realised we could use it really to just sort of extend an image in some way, because it was around the time we were going, now we need it's horrible to have to think about branding something that you do for fun, but realistically you have to if you want it to go anywhere, and you've got to get like a vibe and a theme going. So really it was sort of part of that, because that's when everything was coming together, when Ali was making the website and we were getting all these different bits of artwork in and logos sorted out and all the tunes set up. And it was round about the first time we released our music. Yeah, it was the first single, wasn't it? In May.
It sort of like aided us as part of the promotion for singles, and then yeah, we still make them there. To be fair, there's so many that aren't even released.
Yeah, that's true.
There's definitely more to come, and I think we're always coming up with ideas along them lines. Like we've got a great movie idea that we came up with yesterday, but that's not all.
Yeah, that is her show.
Little plug. No, it's definitely important to, you know, as a band, to kind of any which way you can to promote yourself. So I think doing crazy things that are different, you know, not every band has these videos, or it just makes you a bit different and stands out in a way. So yeah, I think it's great.
I'm glad somebody thinks that.
It might just be me. I might be the only one, but who knows?
Hooray! Well, then it's worked. Yeah, I'm gonna say originally it was for 2 people, and I sat here, and that's the reason we were making them at one point.
Yeah, it's definitely working. So I guess one of my favorite FMTV videos is the making of Enough. And
really,
Enough was released last November. And yeah, one of the things I got from that video, because it kind of shows the recording process behind the track. So one thing I got from it was your connection as a band and how close you all are. And as you were saying earlier, you kind of touched on how Flat Moon formed and everything. But it seems from watching that video that you're not afraid to tell each other, you know, like, stop being a prat, or shut the door, or whatever it was. So for any new fans who might be watching, what's your advice to them on how important it is that you develop a solid relationship with each other, and where you kind of have that balance of being able to have loads of fun, but then also being able to tell each other, you know, we've got to get our heads down here and record an album or whatever it might be?
It is an odd dynamic, because we've known each other now for quite a while, longer than we've been successfully functioning as a group.
Yeah.
So the group dynamic has changed somewhat, where it is just chaos to begin with, you know, and you've sort of to figure out who is in which role for different things. People are dominant in different areas, so it's like if there's an issue with this, you go to this person. If the, you know, like, I mean, for example, I pointed out one of Ewan's greatest strengths of just being able to network with anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody, you will speak to him. He's got no shame. He don't care. He'll plug Flat Moon to anybody. He'll try and sell you grandma t-shirt. He's great with that. But then when it comes to being quiet as a drummer, that is less often when he's in control. So then something, usually in a studio scenario, I just end up being a bit gobby with everybody, because I get so perfectionist. And that was on that video in particular, where we were trying to rehearse enough and it just wasn't coming together the day before. And I don't know, I just get a bit stressed out. And so then I'm like, look, this is our opportunity. We need to be sorting this out. And everyone does take it seriously.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
it's yeah.
What we're aiming at. So
yeah,
that's sort of where that's where it sort of lends itself to the serious side. Like we do piss about a lot and have a lot of fun that's just as joking, but then I think we all sort of click when we do need to be serious, and it's more unwritten than anything. And we understand, like, I feel like we understand how other people think in a way that we know that if Jacob's telling me or shouting at me at a rehearsal, I know that he's only shouting at me at rehearsal because he just wants it to be better. I don't think he's shouting at me because he suddenly hates me and he's going to be shouting at me all night or anything.
Yeah, I mean, usually after I've done that, I realise what a knobhead I've been. But in just terms of tone of voice, because I'm not very kind about it. And so afterwards, just be like, oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean anything. And then I might go, oh no, yeah, that's like that, yeah. But yeah, just sort of. I mean, we then get the pressure from Ali, don't we? Because we need to do a lot of admin stuff where he's going, have you sent this off to so and so? Have you done this yet? And we're going, no. So anything playing wise, I end up being the fire breathing dragon or whatever. And then when it comes down to all the admin, rather, Ali's the one breathing down the back of everyone's necks, just going, you need to get it sorted. Matty's that for subs, the treasurer. So whenever we need to be sorting money out, it's Matty that becomes in charge.
And
so we just sort of, you what, sorry?
And timing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm such the official for
that. No, it's
still in the video.
Yeah, I was about to say it's that time.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you guys kind of each, have your own important roles in the band, and I guess that's what makes you guys work so well. So yeah. My next question is, your first headline slot was early in March last year at Oporto. So in what way would you say you've changed as a band or developed since then? Or would you say that you've kind of remained the same since gigs have started again and you've been going out and performing?
Well, I'd say we're vastly different in terms of how we view ourselves. Whether that's the same for other people, I'm not too sure, because everyone's had their own lockdown experience, haven't they? Ours has been flat news lockdown experience, and I don't know if that'll mean that everyone will go, oh well, they must have really developed all that. People who come to see us before, I don't know if they see us in the same light. But I mean, as far as we're concerned, we're so much more organised. We've got an abundance of tunes that are ready to be recorded. It's just a money thing at this point. But I'd like to think myself, we're all way better playing. We're all way better with live etiquette, setting up, stripping back, just all the sort of more boring things that when you go to a show, you don't have to see as an audience member. We've got a lot better at that behind the scenes sort of stuff. So perhaps the performance still has the same effect that it would have had initially, and the sound is perhaps fairly similar to just an audience member. But I feel the biggest change has been in our belief in ourselves, having now been working with Monomyth, and things like that. We've had these little milestones for us where we're close to 1,000 followers on Instagram, and just like little bits like that where you have to celebrate as you go along, because you get very few rewards. So anything that can be deemed a reward, it really it boosts your confidence. We've had a lot of them really over the past year. From Vultures to Demise has been a big change, and just seeing things like it hitting 7,000 streams, which is not a lot for an artist in the grand scheme of things, but the fact that we've got 7,000 streams on a tune is just reason to celebrate, because it's a new milestone, it's a new record. up until that point it was 3,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so then that smashed that, and we're like, wow, amazing. So we're waiting now for the next one to do that. We project there'll probably be a bit of a lull where that Demise was a really accessible song, and there'll be a few that are a bit weirder, and then there'll be hopefully another accessible song which will boost the whole thing again. It's moving in waves like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So kind of in line with that, would you say that you've got any new releases coming out soon, or can we look forward to an EP or an album soon?
Oh, an album would be a way off because we'd bloody be giving it ham for that. Plus, we need some.
We've got two tracks that are recorded and they're not ready to go. They're recorded, they're like properly done. We did them in the studio because we won a competition. We won a competition at the start of the year that was with it was an Instagram account called Leeds Bands, yeah. And they ran a competition between, I think it was like 32 bands, and then it was like a knockout through loads of different rounds. But we ended up winning somehow, and that got us.
That was a nice little victory, wasn't it? That was a nice little milestone.
Yeah, enough won that for us, and then we got some recorded. We recorded 3 tunes, one of them being Demise, which is out, and then 2 more that are to come. But yeah. It shouldn't be too long for at least one of them.
One of them, we've got the main mix down. We're looking for a trumpet player to play some of the brass parts.
Yeah, we just put a saxophone on it.
Yeah, we messaged this saxophonist Scarlett, and she was more than happy to put some tracks down. So we did a session sort of thing with her. She's put some saxophone bits in, and we need a trumpet as well, we reckon. Just to layer up as well, because it's going to have if there is any trumpeters, please. I think that's all we're missing really on that tune then, and then we'll be able to get it off for mastering. We've got a cover sorted. One of our friends has drawn a really good cover. It'll be called, I don't know if you heard it. Did we play it on Monday? We will have done.
Yeah.
It was Filio Freak, and it was the I'm not gonna do it. But the one that's let me see if I can get the one that started like but anyway, we've got the brass playing that, we hope. And it's gonna be a bit more funk than Demise was. Demise is a bit of a hybrid tune. So we're not sure if that's gonna strike the same chord, but we like it, so we're going to put it out anyway and make it a bit more about being a bit odd. I mean, that's what the tune's about anyway. And then the other one, it's excellent, and we started our set with it at Transmission, and it's LAGF, which of course stands for Let's All Get Fricked. And we're not sure what Bob's feeling about that, who is the head of Monomyth. Due to the explicit nature of the song, we're not sure what he's thinking about it, but we think it's a good tune, and it's funny as hell because it's got a line about the ice cold nips are as sharp as a knife when you stood outside a venue in winter waiting to get in. But it's just stuff like that that is like, well, that's an odd way to say that you stood outside. So yeah, the next 2 are going to be quite weird. So it might be a bit of a lull in terms of gaining some new indie fans, but any people who like freaky stuff might be drawn in a bit more by it. We'll see. But yeah, those are our next 2 planned releases at least.
Well, it all sounds very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you could be the support act to any headliner, who would it be?
Sensibly, I'd probably say
not too good.
Not
immediately
too good.
I thought James Brown, but then I went
no way. You can't support James Brown because then you've been to a James Brown show, and who was that before? Oh, it was nobody because it wasn't James Brown.
Yeah.
Realistically, we'd probably have to do Chili Peppers, because live they've only got one guitarist. That really lets them down.
I think we could really shout Coldplay there.
Do you reckon? Wrong crowd though.
Completely wrong crowd, but it'd be still funny.
It would be hilarious, wouldn't it? thank you. Let's all get mashed up. Yeah, big finish.
And then make them sing a song that they sing.
Ewan rips his whatever he's wearing off and throws it out, and then Fix You starts. That'd be good. Yeah, either Coldplay or Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay, yeah, I know which one I'd rather go to.
Yeah.
So you've got a D&B remix out of your latest Demise. So I'm guessing you're also into a lot of other genres of music as well. Did you mix this yourselves? Or what was your thought process behind doing it? Were you just like, yeah, let's do this? Or
Well, for the first time, we got the stems from the studio, the individual tracks. So we could, I mean, we got them because Ali mixed Demise is why. I mean, we all went round and come up with different bits to say, oh, it needs this and it needs this. But Ali did the physical mix job on it. And so then we were going, oh, we've got all these stems here. We've got all the samples, essentially. And Ali wanted to just make a D&B version because we were saying you can make a song into so many different versions of that song just by changing the genre, changing the instrumentation of it.
yeah.
And it was kind of an experiment to see how well it'd go down if we just released the same song, same vibe, same story almost, but with a completely different genre label attached to it, and see what it do. Because we want to do everything. We want to make all sorts. We've got bits of music that me and Matty made just messing around that are just weird soundscapey stuff. We've done we've just made all sorts of comedy tunes and big like a cappella numbers and all sorts. We want to do as much as we can just to show like, look, we can do all these things. We're choosing to focus on this type of music. But should you want to pay us for anything else, we will make it. I don't care how we do it. We'd like to be making music as a living. So we just thought we'd branch out early as possible and show that we can do loads of stuff. And Ali mixed that as well. So he just put that together. We didn't really have much say in that.
No.
Just kind of went, make sure you turn up Lily's vocal because it's sick. Good female vocal. Always sounds good on a D&B track. And it's just bits like that. And then he made the rest of it.
Well, if you've not heard it already, then go give it a listen. Just gonna ask one more question now. So, what is your favorite album of all time?
Oh, shit. Well, we've got 5 up on the wall that we can't choose from. So we'll talk them through the wall.
Five.
We'll do the wall, and this will be mine and albums split. Matty's. Mine and Matty's split albums. Right. Okay. We might have to turn them around. Okay. We've got the wall here.
Oh wow.
Right by the toilet. Okay. I'll get out of the camera. So, with this end, I presume we've got 5 to go through. You right, Matty? Shall I begin? Yeah. Okay. So album number 1 is Shine. That's not going to be good. The laptop. Funkadelic's Maggot Brain, which is amazing. Psychedelic, funky, bit down to earth, a lot of acousticy sound stuff, a lot of fuzzy sound stuff, just great. A lot different from the P-Funk thing, but that's Eddie Hazel, G. We've got Axis Bowl of Love, which is that your favourite Hendrix one? Yeah. Because I'd say mine's Electric Ladyland, but the tunes on there are underrated. So like if you get fed up of the best of Jimi Hendrix CD that your dad plays, this one, very good. I'll let you take the next one. I don't know if it's on the same.
Oh yeah. This is the album Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg. It's just got loads of it's got loads of the stuff from P-Funk, which they just sampled and stuck on this, but really like this album. It's grooving, it sounds sick. And it makes me laugh a lot, so. Yeah, we always we just put it on whenever we come to the house. Put a face in it so it's not on.
I'll let you take
Can't really hear you. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, we'll do these two at once, maybe then. So we got Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions, and Earth, Wind and Fire on all. That album's just absolutely mental. It's so good. It's just that album's so good. You've got to listen to that. It's like it's just everything. Yeah, it's just so tight and so clear, and everything about it's just like, wow, that's some sort of magical sound.
How many musicians were in Earth, Wind and Fire to get that many playing?
Don't know.
Was it like 12 or something ridiculous?
Have you got that?
Yeah. All playing so tight together. Crazy. Hello. Inner Visions is possibly the best Stevie Wonder album, but some might say it's Songs in the Key of Life. But it's got Higher Ground, Don't You Worry About a Thing, Too High. Oh yeah, that's great, isn't it? Right. Just really good, Stevie. I feel like it's is it pre Songs in the Key of Life? Because that was so huge, that album. Yeah. Whereas this is a little bit more down to earth. I think honourable mention, Matty, would have to be
Oh yeah, that is my actual favourite album though, and it's not because the cover doesn't. The problem with our albums that are up here is that they're all our favourites, but also they have to be good artwork. So another favourite of mine is Still Bill by Bill Withers, and I think that album's just probably my favourite ever. But the cover wasn't quite good to make the wall.
The cover was just Bill Withers, whereas all the other ones are a bit trippy. So I think it got demoted. But that means it gets regular turntable play. It stays. I know you keep the vinyls out anyway, don't you? But yeah, I'd say that's a good selection. I mean, that's what we've been listening to for the past 3 years now, which is probably amongst other things. But,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed seeing your wall. I hope everyone else does as well. That was great. So yeah, thank you so much for this, guys. I think I'll bring the interview to a close now, but go and check out Flat Moon's website. It's really wacky, all things spacey. So yeah, It's got all the merch on, face masks, posters, t-shirts, etc.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. If you want to support us, you have to buy our stuff because we don't get any money otherwise. We're still waiting actually for that payment from the gig the other day. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Right. Oh, the bastards. We need funding. Money, mate.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Keep up the craziness and good luck with everything in the future. And catch you around for some more gigs.
Yeah, that'd be great. Please come to some more. Thank you for the support. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit.